We'll call the meeting order at 7:03. All right, let's go down our list quickly here. All right, sorry, I got my glasses. Prioritize our projects. I think we're out of that at this point. The grants. We're still working on, Bruce will see what funding is out there, and then feds and ARPA. I know, Bruce, we talked, I thought we were talking about June, and then I think it got pushed off again. Any idea when you'll hear from some of those other grants?
It's Connecticut Rec Trails is being pushed off to minimum of September.
Okay.
For the oddest of reasons. No, actually, in retrospect, no, it isn't. Particularly if you know Connecticut government. To my knowledge, the last round of grants, which we announced in January, the internal administrators, legal administrators for DEEP have not issued a single contract yet in 7 months. So they're so far behind that DEEP doesn't want to start the next funding round because they'll get so in the weeds that it's classic Connecticut government.
Now, is that because of DEP's fault, or is that the lack of the towns getting their contracts together, getting the thing ready to go?
No, it's DEEP. Yeah, it's
okay.
I think they've got staffing problems, but I also think that the whole process of grant contracts is almost ground to a halt at DOT too. I'm hearing from DOT.
Oh boy.
Now
that means all these other grants that we talked about are all on hold as well.
Well, it's interesting because in the same breath, DOT just announced on Monday at the Connecticut Greenways Council a new $5 million rural towns transportation fund, which Farmington doesn't qualify for.
Oh, we don't. Okay, I didn't sound like.
I don't think so. I believe it follows the federal highway guidelines for what's a rural town, population, and those types of things. But it's interesting that they're announcing a new program, a new Connecticut program, and they can't seem to be able to administer the other ones. So, but
so just as usual, grants are on hold then.
As of right now, that I know of, yes.
Okay. I'll jump in on that. On the other one that you had posted earlier, that you sent us an email on the AARP grant.
Yes.
So I'll be honest with you, I was a little mum on that. I could not speak on that. Our economic development coordinator said, you cannot say anything to anybody because if AARP finds out, we can actually pull the grant. They wanted to do some big grand ribbon cutting ceremony of sending everything out. So we kind of knew about a month ago. So I had to kind of hold off on that. So we're using that. If any,
my spies sent it to me, and they're like,
"I saw your email," and I went,
"Don't you live in Farmington?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. It's the first I've heard of this."
Yeah, I know. So, as I said, I saw your email, and I call our economic development corner. I said that when are they going public? She goes, oh, they went public yesterday. I went, woof. I said, okay, we're good. So we're going to use that money for the bike trail signs out on the bikes, for the wayfinding signs that we're still working on, and I'll get into that as we move down. And they're looking to do some work in the intersection of New Brighton Avenue. They're going to be putting some benches. I think they'll be putting a couple benches and a bike rack, and then they're going to do a kiosk in that area as well with mapping and signs. So it's going to be kind of a bike map and a town map as well. So
I'm sorry.
Oh, I just is that coming? Is all coming from that grant? Are you doing that kiosk?
Wayfind. Yep. The wayfinding, the kiosk, the benches, and the bike rack will come out of that grant. And she had a little extra funds from a different project, so she's gonna move that over. So that's how she can put everything all together as one.
Okay.
All right.
So on the discussing bike racks, we still don't have one at our police department and senior center. Can that be an ask? Because that would just make sense.
PD for what reason? And help me out. Again, I'm gonna play
Bike rack?
I'm gonna play. Yeah.
Because we're bike friendly. I mean,
Do we get a lot of people that would go to the police?
oh, I have
think, Russ?
no idea if we do or not, but if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. I can see the senior center. I definitely could make
Well,
an
I mean,
argument
right
on the senior
between
center,
them,
you know?
you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to do one for, I see. So
Mhm.
so do one for okay, I get you. I'm thinking one
Yeah.
for each. Okay.
No, there's that room right in between, right? It's a big
Yeah.
grass.
Let me see what we got. I don't let me ask. That'll have to be an ask on that one.
Okay.
I just had a meeting with the new president of Farmington Rotary. Rotary is looking for a project in the bike ped realm to do, and they've got some grant money coming in.
Okay.
Maybe that is a possibility. We talked about a bunch of things.
Yeah, I thought the Rotary was. I'm trying to. I always get them confused. Is it the Rotary, or is it the other business? But I thought they combined with Avon, didn't they? There used to be a Farmington. Then they combined.
Okay. So Avon combined with Canton.
Mhm.
So Avon Canton is a Rotary. Farmington is still by itself, I believe.
I thought because we were talking about that, and I was working with our economic development coordinator on that, and then she said they had some money available and they were looking to give it, but because it was locked under Farmington, and since they combined, they can help us out with that. So, all right, I mean, I'll ask her again on that one.
Could it have
Okay.
been the Chamber of Commerce? Because I know
Maybe that's what I'm
they're
thinking of too.
defunct, and I think they
Yeah.
went to
Maybe
Bristol.
that's what it is. Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of the
Oh, you know
chamber.
what? It is probably the Chamber of Commerce.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on there. But anyway,
All right.
they've got, I don't know, somewhere around $5,000, something like that. And so
Mhm.
they wanted to talk to the Farmington Valley Trails Council. But I said, what really they need to do is ask the town
Mhm.
of Farmington what the town needs.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
we'll go from there. So
All right.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
I'll talk
to start that conversation. That's all.
Yeah, Rose Ponte, who's been on these meetings before. She's our economic development coordinator, and she's definitely she's my contact for all those groups like that. So I will definitely chat with her on this. All right.
Good. Yeah, just as a heads up that they're looking for something.
Okay. All right. So that was all of our grant issues. The jug handle still on hold because of the grants, but Rich, you were working with Mike D'Amico's office. Any change on that or anything new to bring up on that?
No, it seems like it's gotten kind of cold. I haven't got much response from the DOT or,
Mhm.
I mean, I've been CCing Mike, but
Okay.
I'm not asking. I'm not currently working with this, trying to get feedback from the DOT, Connecticut DOT, but Robert Bell.
Mhm.
So I asked him, I don't know. I'd asked if I could go to the next one and pitch the idea, but I never heard back from him. So
Okay.
I did, shot him another email. It was just yesterday, I think, because I think the last time I sent him was before our last meeting, and maybe I got to bombard him with emails or maybe phone calls. But I
Probably
haven't.
march there.
What's that?
The march
March?
on Hartford for.
I'll ride my bike to his office if I can find it.
I know where they are. I am meeting on Monday afternoon with the new head of engineering for DOT. And it's a packed agenda, but I'm going to try to at least, mention it. Ostensibly, this is about statewide funding for bike ped projects. So the expansion of the TAP program and the need across the state for some sort of gap programming, because as I think I mentioned last time, we're unsealing bids that are like a minimum of 30–40% high now.
Yeah,
And
you're saying that.
it's becoming a serious problem.
Okay.
So, but I will, Rich, I'll make a huge attempt to at least, mention the name of it, and get it, on the board, because these are the folks that are taking over for the head of engineering, Hugh Hayward, who just retired at the end of the fiscal year. And so I want to set a good example with those guys.
Yeah. What about New Britain? How are they connected? I mean, I've seen headlines about them connecting to the bike trail,
Yep.
East Coast Greenway. How is that? Do you know how that route is coming? Because that would
It's
of
coming
floated.
along. It's coming along very well. So that's the extension from the existing end of the trail at Fast Track. They're calling it the Beeline Trail, going basically straight across to Plainville, the southern part of Plainville.
Plainville. Okay.
It's the last part of it is in design. The first part of it, I believe, they received in the last round construction money. So it went to bid, and they opened up. This is one of the ones that they opened up the bids. The winning bid was 50% high.
Mhm.
So they've got a problem. I just talked to Mark Moriarty, who's the head of engineering in New Britain, and they're all pulling their hair out. They don't know what to do. So stay tuned. I think this is going to be a problem.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be at least a problem for this full year. I mean, maybe going into the spring of next year too. All right. Jug handle kind of goes in with the funding and the signal. We talked about that. DOT projects. Identify DOT projects, create project plans, get on DOT agenda, give the Bruce Donald, VHB. This is all the connectivity stuff.
Yep.
Side path along Route 4 by Mountain Spring. Get camera on Route 4. Check the DOTs. Jug handle path to Wolf Pit. I think we're off on that one, Ron, right? Is that the one that you took? No, sorry. I apologize. That one is Richards. And spoke to VHB, just Russ over office to determine next steps for that other stuff. All right. Yeah, that's all those jug handle stuff. 5th grade bike safety curriculum. Have phys ed teacher at Westwood interested. Ron on hold for 2022. We'll actually revisit that for 2023. Is there anything that we need to do to get in place this year so we're ready to start discussions in 23, Ron? You're on mute.
You're muted.
Surprised the guys didn't clap. I just recall it sounded like CJ was kind of like, I think we should put this off to 23. So, I can
Not
reach
sure if that
out.
was the COVID issue at that point, maybe, but just keep the dialogue going instead of us starting in 23.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just keep it going so everyone's on board. All the players are still there, and everyone knows what's coming up. Bike to school.
Ron, just write yourself a note that I've started a dialogue with the folks at Noah Wallace, and I've got some genuine interest from them.
For the bike to school or the bike or the bike.
Bike to school.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll keep you informed as that, and it would obviously at this point be for 23.
Yeah.
But I'll keep you informed.
Okay.
Again, and I think we talked about that last meeting too, but that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe not to do it now, but I mean, maybe like September, once the kids are back and things are starting to move, is maybe trying to get in touch with those parent committees, you know, at the
Oh,
schools.
PTA,
and
yeah.
PTAs, PACs, they call them PAC, whatever. Everyone's got
Okay.
different names, but just maybe trying to make the contact with them early and presenting something for them. So that way you've got interest with them. And then after that, you can hit the spring, with the ground running and hopefully, and then hopefully you can pull some volunteers off of those committees that may be interested in helping you out. So, Bike West, we talked, around check the BOE virtual union. Well, the Marshall, we talked about all the bike stuff, bicycle building. Superintendent has a group in high school building bikes, and that thing ended. Has been able to get any details on that bike building event, so we'll hold off on that. Board of Ed member, we're still working on trying to get somebody. Next page, get the Farmington PD. We've got Jeff. He's here, so we're all set
you.
there. All right, covered it. Supposed to Frozen 4. Oh, and Jeff, you had attended that National Bike Safety Train the Trainer. How was that?
It was excellent. So we have
Yeah.
another officer who's now trained, and we'll probably be doing a class for bicycle cops this fall.
Mhm.
And on another side note, one of the duties that I do, I don't know if anybody knows, but I take care of all the property at the police department, and
All the what? I couldn't hear
have-
you. You're broken up.
I take care of all the property at the police department, and I have
Oh, okay.
bicycles that I'm trying to, basically I'll end up throwing them away. Some of them are kind of junky. They're mostly, nothing special. But if anybody knows anybody that's taken, pretty much everybody I've reached out to, they're just inundated with bicycles, junk kind of bicycles.
How about Matt? Doesn't he? Would you think he'd be interested in maybe taking a look at them and see what they can do and turn them over? You know?
Yeah, I don't think a bicycle shop would be that interested. I need more of a place that fixes them up and gives them to, maybe Hartford residents or people.
Well,
that
I think he
don't have
does,
the money.
right? Wouldn't he be able to fix
So-
them up though? You know?
So Jeff, I have connections at BCco in Hartford. They take bikes all the time. They'd probably love it. The other one is Bike Walk Connecticut is starting to rebuild their fleet too. So there's some opportunities there. And I know, Rich, you talk to the BCco guys all the time.
Yeah, I was there today. In fact, they have two shops now. They have one in West Hartford and the one in Hartford on Park. And they've got tons of programs. I was there today and they had interns training on how to fix up bikes. So they're always busy and
And who is that?
Always looking for-
PECO, you said?
bicycle.
You guys? Huh?
BICICO. It's part of the Latino
Center for
Foundation.
Latino Progress.
Yep.
All right.
But I know the folks there. I know the guys that run the shop and be happy to relay some messages to them, information.
Before
They're
we
always
do
looking
that,
for bikes.
is there any ability to keep that in town? I mean, we do have people, less fortunate people that could probably use a bike, and I'm not sure what shape they are in, Jeff, but if it's something that maybe Matt, is it simple stuff that can be done for them, or are they pretty much trashed bikes that need a lot of work?
Some would be okay. I have reached out to social services in town, but they're not very receptive because they don't, unless they have an active person that they know looking for something, they're not really interested. They don't have a place to store them. And at this point, I have to start getting rid of them.
So
Could
one
we
other
do- I
option,
mean,
one,
good.
one option I've got is, my wife's on the board for the Farmington Food Pantry. And I don't know if, they could put up a sign or something like that, free bicycles or something like that. I don't know how our town social services work, how they interact with our residents, but I'm sure if somebody put signs up, free bicycles, then people would love them. They're just nobody's advertising it.
I agree with Andres. I mean, social services can do a quick little thing in the newsletter, or do an Everbridge notification, and shoot it out, and either work it through social services or work through the PD. Say bikes are here, first come, first serve on Saturday. You know what I mean? Stop by or whatever. I mean, I think that would go a long way. That would make more of a community boost than maybe shipping them out of town to someplace else, you know. And then if they don't take them, then we can go to that Pico, you know, and donate them there.
I would say it'd probably be worth having somebody, you know, a bike mechanic, you know, vet them just for usability. I mean, we don't want to give a kid something that's not going to work.
Yeah.
And also, you know, what the industry calls, you know, disposable bikes, Walmart bikes, you can't really fix.
No, you can't.
I mean, they're such trash that you literally can't fix them. So,
But the way, you know,
probably
like a lot of
somebody
times
should go
my
through
kids' bikes were, they actually outgrow them so fast. If you have them for 3 months and they're out, you know, they've outgrown them already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but all right. Well, Matt owns the cycle shop, right? I mean, maybe Jeff, maybe it's worth. Oh well, then maybe it'd be worth to shoot him an email or call him and see if he'd be willing to take a look at him at least and give you guys an honest opinion on him and see if there's something that can be done. But I mean, it's just me. I thought it'd be a great chance to shoot him out to the community, our community in need first before we ship him out of town. So
No, I love the idea because, you know, if they can be local, that's fantastic. Jeff, you know, I worry about, you know, giving kids trash. That's all.
I agree. You know,
because some of them are going to be, but some of them are going to be perfectly fine too. So
anybody, again, maybe Ron, what about, I know the BFF has that, I mean, not BFF, but what do we bike walk? How's that doing? Is that, I see a smile.
We're on
Not a
hiatus.
good smile. I was just going to say, I'm trying to think of an organization that would help the police and maybe get the bikes out to the community. And maybe there's simple things like just tightening of a wheel, just tightening of a chain or something, and to help the kids, show them how to fix the bike and put them on their way, you know?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm probably on this panel here, the guy you don't want to touch a bike except for the pedals and the handle.
That's probably true. You know, the other group in the area that has a public shop similar to BCCO is Bike Walk New Britain, and they take bikes too. And maybe we could, and they're volunteers. Maybe we could get them to vet the bike fleet or something like that. But there's some, you know, it used to be the folks that did that in the Farmington Valley was Simsbury Free Bike, but they're defunct.
Oh, they are? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah. Jeff, do you need any help with that, or you think you could make, or do you want any contacts, or you think you could just make those calls, or what?
I mean, you have my email, so if anybody has them, wants to forward me the contacts, then I will do that and kind of vet and figure out what we're going to do. Not totally my decision, and you know, it's a mixture of adult and kid bikes. So, and unfortunately, some of them are the throwaway department kind of bikes, really hard to do anything with. So, but some.
What's your opinion on those? What's your opinion on seeing those? Are they trash, or are they just simple mechanical stuff you need to just fix, or do you have to actually buy parts for them?
It's a mixture. You know, I mean, there's a couple dozen of them, so it's really a mixture.
All right. If you guys have any of the contacts for those guys, I mean, it'd be great. And I think you have Matt's contact, right? You have his email, right?
Oh yeah, I have Matt. I'll reach out to him.
Shoot him and see if he's willing, and maybe he knows somebody. If not, so all right.
I'll send you info
Trey.
to Bicycle, Jeff, so you can have that if you need to fall back on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into him. I follow him on Facebook, or I just started following him. So I will reach out to them and see what their program is, because maybe they can take some and someone else can take others that are, you know, so maybe we split it up and kind of work it that way. And there's always going to be more. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, just one thing for you guys that don't know about Bicycle is, they have programs where they teach kids to rebuild bikes, and their reward is a bike. They'll pick a bike, they'll build it, they'll learn all about it, and at the end of the session, they'll get to keep the bike. So they have another number of good programs. They have a similar thing for like homeless guys that need bikes to get back and forth to work.
Okay.
And they do sell the bikes, but it's all nonprofit. They're not there to make a profit.
All right.
They're just to spread the knowledge and
Mhm.
the wondrous world of bikes.
Okay. Trail Wayfinder signage, we talked a little bit about that. We have a new person coming in, giving us some new pricing and some new options. So Rose met with them today. We should be able to get back to us with a proposal for in about 2 weeks, and then that's the guy that's going to be working under the AARP grant, which is for the benches, the bike rack, and the kiosk. So hopefully there'll be some news on that soon. Water fountains, still looking around for that, looking for some prices. And like I said, everything's going through the roof, but I still have to contact REI. I think Bruce, so you were saying possibly contact them to see if they would be willing to donate for that. So
I did. We're out of their grant cycle right now, but I think the grant cycle starts up in September.
okay,
But I did get in touch with those folks, and it's kind of the right amount of money that they tend to grant around 5 to 10.
okay,
So it would kind of fall within what we need.
and it would definitely supplement. And like I said, if it is a little more, we can supplement the rest, and that's fine.
Yep. Okay. I'll just stay on that.
What about that Rotary Club too? Is that something they could want to chip in on maybe?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, Bruce, put that on the list for
I am.
Rotary.
I just did.
Yeah.
Because I just wrote it down.
They really are looking for something, and maybe that's that's a good call.
Okay. All right.
And by the way, if push comes to shove in terms of money, don't forget the Farmington Valley Trails Council or some of the other big 501c3s, because they've all got some money lying around.
Do you know anybody in the Farmington Valley Trails Council that we could talk to?
Yeah.
All right.
I can't. Every time I go to those meetings, I can't just have a list of things that they have to, write a check for. I have to be a little careful.
All right.
Yes, FYI, those ones in Hartford, there's actually 4 of them, and they're up and running, and they're wonderful. They got a dog dish on each one, water bottle, fill, and a regular.
I talked to, who told me? I think it was Bruce. I think it was you. Oh no, Rich. You told me.
Yeah.
That they did it, and I contacted that, or you gave me the contact. I had talked to him extensively about it, and that was the same one that we were looking for. It was like a water bottle filler, and as well as a dog or an animal, feeder water on the bottom. What I was looking at was all the frost-free options, and they said they went through those, and they just jerry-rigged a plumbing thing themselves where it just drains out to grade somewhere else, and they don't even go with the frost freeze anymore. So which is a great option. So I have that on my list.
Bruce, what was the price point of those Hartford ones? Did they tell you?
Yeah, I think he was looking into when I did them. I think they had already purchased them, but I think they were because with the frost free, we were in that $8,000 range. So I think those without the frost free, you're down to the 4 or 5 range.
Yeah, I think they're about $5,000 each.
Yeah.
Okay.
They might got a package deal because they got 4 of them, but they sure are nice. They're up and running finally, like as of last week, and
all right,
really nice.
Sidewalks. CJ, we were talking about adding sidewalks to the new council's strategic agenda, which they're working on. Grants. Dylan can maybe go in a little bit of that, but I know, like we said, the CROG grants for 2022, 2023 are done. So we would be applying, I think, Dylan, for in 23 for 24 money. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so CROG is opening up a funding cycle for through the LOTSIT program for next year. I don't think they've announced yet when it's going to open, but I think it will be around November that they'll start accepting applications.
22
Yeah,
for 24, right? You said?
for 23.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
I was off
Yeah,
here. So
they're the LOTSIT program has run into an issue where money that they've awarded is much higher than money that has been used. So they're trying to close the gap a little bit by opening up this additional funding cycle in hopes that some more money gets used a little bit quicker. So I would anticipate they're looking for smaller projects that are kind of ready to go. As for the Meadow Road sidewalk that we talked about last time, it's currently what, 4 foot width, and it's paved asphalt. We talked about doing a 10-foot wide walkway, and the cost for that would be, I did a quick estimate of it, and it would be just under 600,000, doing it the way that we need to do it to get the money through one of our traditional funding programs that we do projects through. And that,
I like your shoulders, Ron. Your shoulders switched when he said that amount, huh?
yeah,
And keep in mind, Dylan, when I was working with Dylan on that, we were using current pricing for a sidewalk job that we have going on right now in Farmington. So,
Yeah.
so then, just like Bruce said, the unit prices are very high now. So,
yeah,
Actually, that number does not surprise me at all.
no,
yeah,
but I think we had talked, Dylan, him and I talked about what if we, took it out, because sometimes when you do those large projects, the prices do go up because it's a lot more work
Yeah.
that, insurance wise and bid and bonding that they need to do. So we thought about maybe trying to do that, doing some of it in-house and just going through what we call our vendor in place program, which the state just puts out a per ton price. So possibly try and do something like that. But I think we said it's a $250,000 to $500,000 job all day.
exactly. Yeah, and that
So-
and my estimate, the one that's it's 575.
Yeah.
But
That's with your contingencies and all that stuff in
yes,
there.
yeah,
So
yep, and all that stuff that I need to have in there for any grants or applications.
So it's gonna be done when?
well, no, what we said is that's going to have to be another grant thing.
Yeah.
If we want to go that route, we need to go with another grant.
Yeah, it's
So,
something that we
mean,
can't eat in our budget.
So, like I said, it's great. We have all these things, but when the grants come out finally, we're going to need to shoot and then prioritize ourselves through some of these. So, all right, is that it, Dylan?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, things are just kind of going for this season right now, and then I'm sure with the meetings coming up at the end of this month, that we'll start moving on to next year, 2023.
Talked about our meeting schedule. Just a reminder that we're not.
I have a couple things to,
Well, I'm just. Do you want to? Is it part of that, or you want to just?
oh, I see. I thought you were
Yeah,
headed.
just
to
let me
the
finish
end.
going through my list, if you don't mind. That way, I've got
Sorry.
a little couple things from our last time. So,
Okay,
the meeting schedule, just so everyone knows, we are off next month. That we don't have a meeting in August, and based on this, we will see you on September 14th. So that'll be our next one. Porta potties are in. Anybody hear anything negative, good, anything going on? Because we always like to, we put them back in the same place, doing the same thing. I haven't heard anything, suggestions, but if you do hear anything, it's just give us a holler. That way we can plan this.
people are loving
next year.
the sanitizer. That's all I've been hearing about. Great sanitizer.
Oh, the hand sanitizer.
Mhm.
All right. Bicycle friendly designation. How's that sub committee doing on that?
Mm,
And you guys always pointed at me saying, why aren't we getting this? It is, it is hard with all everything going on to get.
You're right.
But just like I said, I mean, just as long as you guys are at least poking at it once in a while. And like I said, I'm in my office. You need anything, just call me and we'll start putting it together. But I think it's great that if you guys start getting a list together, we can then meet as the whole committee and start divvying out some of the work. So.
Yeah, Ron, why don't you and I meet at some point in the next 2 weeks while I'm still around,
okay.
and at least get that list together of what we need. I've got a partial list when I went through it, whenever that was, 2 months ago. But we really should go through it again.
So did you happen to see they redid the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
I sent it out to everyone in an email.
Did you? All right, I must have.
I'm good like that usually.
Hey, I'm used to people not reading my emails, but I must have saw it and just said I'll get back to it and didn't get back to it. How bad is it? Is it a lot more in depth or a lot more work?
No, it's more user friendly, I would say. Maybe.
Yeah, they tried actually, they made an attempt to streamline it a little bit. There's more stuff in there about equity and inclusion. There's some more engineering stuff. It's a little different. I don't think it's a tremendous amount more work, if that's what you're asking.
All right. Connectivity. The other thing we had on that was midpoint. I haven't heard much on the midpoint. I know they are with working with the state right now on that. So hopefully once they get their state permit, traffic authority or their OSTA permit, that they'll be able to get started on that.
Wait a minute.
So we're waiting on that one.
What is
That's sorry. That's my that's my office slang that we use all the time. That's a project. No, it's called the midpoint development because it's really midpoint between Unionville and Farmington Center. It's the old at the base of the Big Bird Bridge. Remember we talked about that in the past. They're going to turn that to a tavern, a brewery, and then they're going to lower that whole bike path section through there. So it's going to be a real big project, which is going to be great.
So the update is that it's on hold or it's going?
No, it's just that it's still going through OSTA.
Okay.
The OSTA, which is the state traffic authority, that actually takes a while. There's a lot of work they need to do to get that thing permit through. And then if there's any comments the state has, it goes back to them for re-engineering. They have to kick it back. So it does take it could take anywhere from 4 to 6 months to get an OSTA permit, depending on the size of the project. And this is a pretty big project. So I'm think it's gonna use all of that, So I know they were planning for some kind of a fall construction. So we'll see what happens. Because I think the intent, at least in their mind, was to get the bike path lowered once the like after Labor Day was kind of what they were, because then the ridership drops at that point. They're not going to do it in the middle of summer when everybody's on the bike trail, but once it more or less gets cold and starts shutting things down, then they'll look at lowering that trail and getting it paved. So,
Which reminds me, that did come up at the Farmington Valley Trails Council board meeting.
It did?
They'd like to be apprised of the construction season so that we can do an on-road rerouting of the trail while it's in construction.
All right, that's no problem. We will keep in touch. All right.
Yep.
With
Yep.
and
you can just go through me on that, but
I can.
they just want to have a say in where it might potentially go.
Yep.
I suspect the way it's going to work is it's going to go down Brickyard.
Yeah. I hope it, and like I said, I hope it's really not going to be. I hope we're not going to care at all because it'll be during a point when really people won't be on it. It'll hopefully.
That'd be ideal, but as you know, people use it year round regardless. So
exactly.
we'll have to sign something.
And while we're on the subject, and maybe not as much bicycle, I know they kept looking for benches in that area, but I kept telling her, there's really no spot for benches in that area because it's a very narrow, it's like 10 feet and you've got,
Yeah.
and you've got a foot and a half of stone dust and you got the fence on both sides. So, I mean, I think we really need
Yeah.
to look somewhere else.
No, they went out and looked at that and they agreed.
Okay. right.
But the one they did want you to say yes or no to was the motor lease one.
Yes, the motor lease. So that
So-
one was all set. That one was all set. So I will get her an okay on that one. Okay.
Excellent, good. Because she was starting to go crazy.
No, it just, like I said, we just understand where we come from this because especially these new benches now, I mean, there's a lot of maintenance and I guess they spent a ton of money on the Brickyard Road benches of rebuilding all those,
I know.
and then that's when we found out that they're getting rid of them. We're like, so there was some kind of a disconnect in that area. So,
I agree. Yeah.
okay. Farmington Trails Council, any upcoming rides? I don't see anything on there. You guys usually give a little.
Yeah. Where did I write all that down? The farm ride's coming up. Where did I write that down? Oh, huh. Oh, you know what? I will send you their list of rides. They've got a farm ride. They've got another ride after that. I think that's September and October. There's two different rides.
Okay.
I'll send you their event list.
All right.
I don't know where I put it.
Yeah, so August 20th is the Canton Lobster Fest.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
That one, yeah, that one we have on here. I thought we had that one in here. So,
And that one, so there's a ride on Saturday, sponsored by the Farmington Valley Trails Council. So you're paying for a lobster dinner and the ride on Saturday. And registration's up for that. Thank you, Ron. I forgot about that one.
And on July 24th, I will be under the tent at the Collinsville, what do they call it? The vegetable,
Oh, the farmer's market?
yeah. So
Yeah,
come and say hello.
I'm actually
Wow.
there on Sunday. So stop by.
all right, the murals, CJ told me that those are done and they're actually ready to be installed. So I just talked with our public works director. He's working with someone from the board, from the school department now to get those things mounted. So those are going to be going down by just south of the Route 6 overpass, over by you, Neil.
The bridge, yeah.
Yep.
Would
So,
you
not on the
alert?
bridge? You're going south of there.
Yeah. Now, would you alert me? I'd love to take photos.
Once I get a date, hopefully we can do something on that. I'll get that over to you.
Thanks.
All right. Sorry. Murals are down here. Liability for bike walks and the board. That is you, Ron.
Yeah. It's not going to happen really soon.
No?
No.
Okay. The pump track, Andres, is he there? I don't know if if you move forward with that at all.
No, I haven't done anything with that.
Okay.
Trying to get my ducks in a row and see if there's
Gotcha.
appetite. I know there's
Takes a
some
while, yeah.
big mountain bike projects going on in Nepog right now where they're trying to raise funds to buy some property next door.
Okay.
And then, so that's kind of taking the focus of NEMBA here.
Dismount signs, Ron, are still up. I talked to our highway department again. They're on the schedule to get those things pulled out.
Okay,
So-
did you know there was one at River Road? I didn't even know.
No, you saw that on your email, and I'm like,
So
there is?
Laura
Wow.
Laura from the Trails Council saw it. And there's
Yep.
only one more on the entire trail through Connecticut, and that's in
Yep.
Simsbury. So you guys.
Yep.
I'll take care of that one.
And
Sorry,
somebody also was, I don't remember who I was talking to, or maybe I messaged, the Trails Council on it. Somebody was, talking about stop signs and bikes and stuff like that. And then I kind of put the counterpoint in there that on the bike path, by, the River Road mini golf there's a stop sign in the middle of nowhere where it looks to be a right-of-way driveway, but
Yes.
there is no
Oh,
driveway. And
yeah.
can we get rid of that stop sign? Because
So,
it teaches bad behavior to kids
He-
when we just all blow through it.
That was a big fight. That was a very big fight. Trust me, I got involved with that one, and it was never pretty. And I think that owner still owns the property. He was adamant that he did not want people driving through. They wanted a stop sign, and so let me try to start those negotiations up again. I can't promise.
Yeah.
it
I mean,
much,
what
but
if
like I
they
said,
just, what if they just changed it to yield to vehicles sign? And, granted, there's never going to be a vehicle there because there's no road.
there's no
You know,
access.
If it's something to placate him, I mean,
yeah, it was a
stick up
private
a sign
driveway.
saying, we love our neighbors,
Yeah, I don't know. Let me, that was shall I say, a little bit of a argument. It was a
Yeah,
very
I
long
figure there's a
argument going on.
backstory to it.
So, newsletter. I didn't get to see it, Ron, but our article, me and Ron put together a quick article on the
3
3
feet.
foot the pass. So, and I haven't heard anything from it, but it did get put together. And like I said, we always have that newsletter. So it was like after the meeting, I said, geez, let me just do a newsletter article. We were talking about it. So any other little problems like that, things, let's just throw it out there. I know we did the crosswalks before. We did the 3 foot the pass. So let's just be great to keep ideas going in the newsletter every time. So they see bikes all the time. So,
Mhm.
all right. I'm
One
done
idea
with my
for a
list.
newsletter, Bruce, might be,
Go ahead.
just for bikes going on the bike path, just to say, passing on your left, or just say, if you're tired of yelling passing on your left every 15 feet on a Saturday morning, get a little bell.
Yeah.
And, maybe, we could just advertise, say, here's a bell you could buy at Central Wheel for $6.99 or something like that.
Is that Bruce? That's still. I want to make sure I'm not in contrast with the Farmington Valley Trails Council, whatever they're promoting. But they still have pass on the left with a bell, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. In fact, they just ordered another 2,000 bells.
So what do you do with them? You
We give
hand them
them
out,
away.
or do you sell them?
Yeah,
Huh?
well, we're going to sell the fancy ones. So there's the cheap ones we give away to kids' bikes, but the cheap ones only fit smaller handlebars.
Yep.
So the expensive ones have a strap system, and so we're going to ask, I don't know, maybe a little over cost for them. And I believe they're coming in. We ordered them through Benidorm, so we'll have those.
Okay.
I think we may have them now, but
All right.
yeah.
That's good. Anybody have anything open?
So someone
open
told
time
me,
now.
is Batterson Park kind of got a makeover, or?
City of Hartford is looking at doing a plan. They
Hartford,
they
okay.
received some money and they've been working with the town a little bit. I'm not involved in the nitty gritty, but they are looking at doing a large scale revamping of the park again.
Okay, so then they will probably put a bike rack in, right, Bruce? Aren't they kind of along the put bike racks here and there, or do we need to reach out?
It came up at the Hartford planning meeting that they're going to do that, but nope, there was no discussion. So the answer is I don't know.
Okay.
At some point, the plan will come hopefully through our office, and at that point, we can comment. At that point,
I would assume because it's contiguous land that they would have to, send their plans to Farmington.
Yeah.
I assume.
And
Sometimes.
do we have bike, either Sherrod roads going to there? Because that's a great starting and stopping point.
Those were our first ones we did.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
That was
Patterson.
2013, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was with Matt Bloom. All right. Anything else?
Everybody's looking at it.
Going once? Ron, are you holding back? Or are you?
No, you'll get emails during the week, so
No, seriously, bring it up now. I'm not
I-
trying to rush anybody.
you know what?
You know,
I
if there's
didn't-
something that the group can do, you know?
I'll probably remember later. I should have made notes. It's been a hectic
Okay.
week. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Everybody, enjoy the time off. See you guys in September. All right. Have a safe vacation if you're headed out somewhere. All right.
All right.
Call the meeting
Thanks,
to
Ron.
adjourn.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Time we
guys.
got 7:54.